Hello and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well today. So unfortunately, the news feeds are continuing every day, which is really tragic. And we are dealing with a true crime event, and we will be dealing with mature content. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. All right, so I'm jumping on the Riley Strain case. All right, so I have picked up, I've relied more on the psychic and spirit in this one. Although you'll see I've done a time chart today on this episode. And we know Riley marked in red on the left on the 8th of March. In the zone of 6 p.m. and midnight, had left a bar and has not been seen since. All right, so I've drawn up a time chart here, and we'll note the day that he went missing, the 8th of March, and I've highlighted in red on the time zone 6 p.m. to midnight. Now, we know it was a little bit later, I believe around 8 or 9, right about there, that he left the bar. There's a lot of footage of him going down the road, which I've seen, and that's pretty much what I know about the case. I feel sorry for the bar owner because I feel there's some retribution coming their way. Now, as mentioned, when this case broke, I've been trying to get spirit messages or at least visuals or a sensation of what happened to this young man. And of course, we can all empathize. We've all had a good time at some point and done silly things and walked off. I've done it once before myself, which is not always a good thing, but these things happen, but it doesn't mean someone needs to be abducted or kidnapped or hurt over it. It's like his father says, why didn't people help this guy? They could see he was out of it. Anyway, be that as it may, I'm getting a sense there was definitely, so psychically, 3 or more males, including a female. I believe there's quite a strong female presence around this group. Okay, there's a group of people, including a female, that lured or got hold of Riley that evening, unfortunately. I'm also getting kicking and beating. I'm seeing and feeling Riley on the ground, and he's getting kicked and beaten, unfortunately. I do believe he was put in a vehicle. And the initial color that I got of the car was like a blue color, but it's not exactly blue. It's like a blue silver, because this is the color, I believe. The color came up straight away. Interesting. I believe this is the color of the car. Now, bearing in mind, I'm seeing the car at nighttime. And I believe it's in this range of blue, okay? So the blue, I'm getting a blue vehicle, and I'm seeing it under night lights. It feels, there's definitely 5. Now, the reason why I'm saying 5, or at least 5, is because the last person to jump in the car is a little bit overweight, sits on the far left back seat, but when he gets in and closes the door, it's quite a tight squeeze. So maybe there's 4 plus Riley in the car. 4 plus Riley. Let's just see here. So I'm getting them that they put him in the vehicle with them in the back seat and they drive off. This is my feeling is that they're not going to find him in that area where supposedly went missing. And even though there's a river there, I don't believe a river is involved. So if we had I also got a sense of like where the situation happened. So where they say they see the last video of him, it's like they went across town. Would that be the right way of saying it? And I believe Riley has shown me, unfortunately. It's like across town. I'm getting the sense they drove across town, like to the other side of town. Now I'm picking up that I always seem to pick up people filming on cell phones. I believe the event was recorded by a female recording on her phone. I want to be very careful. I'm trying to identify the group, right? And so I had the image of the group first, or I'm feeling like they're kicking me. And it is indicated here on the 11th of March. Let me just see up here. Because the event happened so late, the reflection happens a bit later. There's definitely a group, 14-5. That 22-4 is not a good number, unfortunately, guys. It's like beaten to death, unfortunately. But I believe it was a group of people put him in the car and took him across town, and they would have disposed of his body on the other side of town. It's like the opposite side of town, not opposite of the river, but I'm getting shown, so where the river is, I'm getting shown like across town. If I'm looking at a map, they're showing me across town. They went across town. I'm just trying to determine who's in the group here. The person male getting in last at the back, definitely slightly plumpish, overweight. I'm not getting a clear picture of who the perpetrators were, but I'm leaning towards more the African American side, I must say. Let me just look. You see the time zone, 6 p.m. to midnight, we see the 19-10-1. Now, let's say it's actually very clear. There's a fraternity, the 9, higher learning. They come as a group, 10, and end as 1. It's like in the case what's happened to Riley. Part of a group, but got separated from the group. And I have been looking for several days on this. I don't know if any of the psychics are watching. Thank you for watching. I know there's a lot of psychics watching at the moment. I'm getting loses the group at 9 in the morning. So when we get that next grid's midnight to 6 a.m., there's a 9 there. Huh? And this 9 is not good. So we have the 12-3 outcome. So this also, so we got the 12-3. Let me take you through my thoughts here. We got the 12-3, and then the outcome of the 10th of March, I've highlighted 21-3. And this also for me confirms, because we take a forceful person, we take someone with force against their will on that 21-3 when we're dealing in this context where a kid is missing. 21-3 taken against his will by a group 10-1, and that 13-4 outcome. Let me, I always try to make sure is the outcome negative, or is there a chance that he could still be alive or held somewhere? But I don't think so, huh? The 21.3 is not good, 13.4. And then when we get to where I've circled, this for me is the what happened on that situation. And that is, we have an 11.2 chance encounter, obviously, right? Chance encounter. No one could have predicted Riley would have been in this situation. Chance encounter comes across a group of people, 14.5. The severe beating, 22.4, leaves him medically in trouble, which ultimately would lead to his death, 13.4. But how brazen that they would put him in the car and drive him away. That for me is something. I definitely get a sense he was put in the back of a car, back seat, driven off, and gone to the other side of town to be dumped. And this is why I say I'm getting a lot of 4s around here. Now, of course, I know there's a river right there, but I don't believe he's in that river. There are many 4s around here, which actually leads me to believe it's more of a land burial site, where he would have been dumped. Definitely land for me. Now, will these guys get justice? So I wonder, I'm no telephone expert, but there was definitely activity on the evening in that time zone, in that area. And would she have shared that video? Can that kind of information be shared? Do you identify the phones in the area? Who sent video or picture at those time zones where Riley was last spotted? That could be a digital trace. But I've seen it twice, 3 times now. I'm shown again, different angle even. Someone recorded, and I am seeing brown, dark hands. Female recorded event on phone. And a previous image, and I'm seeing it again, so vivid actually, hoodie, fiddling on the phone, having taken the video, so definitely sharing with someone. I've just got a sense, and I'm just going to go with it, guys, a sense of like a scrap yard, a metal yard. I don't know, in South Africa we call them scrap yards, metal yards, scrap yard. But I'm getting the sense it's on the other side of town, and they did this intentionally. They put him and drove him away intentionally to drive them away, or drive attention away from. So actually in that area, could these people actually live in that area? Could they have, are they, I'm getting the word. Okay, I'm feeling it rather. I know what the word is. They're telling me, but it's coming through as a feeling. Like locals, that's not the word, but it's like locals. They live in the area, and I believe they transported Riley away to the other side of town, scrap yard, metal yard. I'm picking up more earth, and I'm just doing a second confirmation on the water situation. Well, technically there is a 20 with an outcome 2, and I'm going to highlight it in orange, but I don't believe that is in play here. No, it's not. I'm not going to highlight it. There's a 22 next to the 11.2. No, it's not. So 20 could tell us water body of water. However, I believe that's more of an emotional outburst. And that's possibly prejudices. Is that the word? Prejudices. So I'm actually going to take this 22 out. Now I'll leave it there for clarity's sake. But I don't believe he's water or in water or was placed in water. I'm definitely getting land, earth, and again, I'm getting a picture of a like a wrecking yard. Is that what it's called? I'm seeing aura at that wrecking yard. There's a big block of red and black. I believe they may have finished him off at the wrecking yard. Or at the, wherever they took him, they finished him off there. Because that 21.3 alerts me to against will, the image of the gentleman, or the person rather, getting in the car, squeezing himself in to close the door. Riley definitely in the vehicle. So I believe whoever took Riley I'm getting that word again. They are in the area. They stay in that area, or they frequent that area a lot. But took him across town. And I believe wherever they dumped him, that is where they unfortunately beat him more. The filming definitely would have happened, I believe, at the first site, at the first crime scene, so where the first contact was made. That's where the video would have, that's where I'm seeing the female filming the situation. So, of course, there's a lot of phones, but let's dig in. There's definitely transfers of video or pictures happening in that time zone, in that area. Easy to pick up, surely, if you, as what I've been seeing on certain cases. I mean, the case of the murders, that digital forensics was quite impressive, actually. So let's dig in and find him digitally, and I believe he's on the other side of town, land. I keep on feeling landfill, but we mustn't, I don't believe it's a landfill. It's more like a wrecking, dumping site for old metal cars, rubble, earth. I'm just trying to see. So the vehicle, just to recap, the vehicle has got it's like a blue-silver mix, and perhaps the light, the time of evening also affects but let's look in the blue range. The darker blues, not the light blues, and not the primary color blues, but in the mid-ranges, leaning towards blue-gray mix. That's what I've got. That's what I'm getting. I did say I want to just stay on the recording while I'm live in my head as well, that we pick up anything. So let's hang in a bit. If it takes too long, if I don't pick up anything, then I'll trim it down. So I've picked up, there's another 11.2. So if we look at that 11.2 in the middle of the day that Riley went missing, we got an 11.2. There's a foreshadowing that day already. I'm just saying during that day, and of course I don't have Riley's date of birth or details, so I can see if this would ping on him directly. But we've got that 11.2, which is like a little bit shaky, 50-50. I'm not 100% sure about what's going on. Is it this? Is it that? Second guessing myself. Do I turn left? Do I turn right? It's that kind of thing, right? And that 11.2 is actually reflected in, which I believe is the reflection day, and of course, the evening of the 8th is the day. That's from in that zone, 6 p.m. to midnight. It was for Riley, okay. But the reflection day on the 11th, There's that 11-2 as well. This was like a chance encounter. And stumbled upon a group 14-5, definitely. And when you have the 13-4, also not good. But interestingly, the 22-4 gives us a reflection of the manner. And because of the severe physical beating, and we are in the 8th year, unfortunately, the day was an 8 as well. Very physical, violent, which causes issues medically on the human body. I do believe a perpetrator is going to be caught. Because I'm only seeing one now. Although I'm getting shuffling of feet, prison type shuffling of feet. I've got one visual on a guy. Yeah, man. They are going to catch these guys. So this is an untimely death for this young man, unfortunately. And no fault of his own. That, like anyone, all of us, having a good time. Instead of people helping to offer, which is what his father said, people seem to think to take advantage of preppy kids, type thing. It's difficult to predict, but I would say, anytime now till, so to have in a court scene already, I'm seeing week 4 or week 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between week 4 and week 6 of the investigation, I believe there's going to be a breakthrough. Between week 4 and 6, there's going to be a breakthrough in the case. All right. Let's hold on a little bit. The energy around me is intense at the moment. All right. I'm going to leave it there for now. Let's get a speedy closure to this case. Such an unnecessary thing. That's why I say, guys, stay safe and stay alert. People take advantage. All right, let me know what your thoughts are. I always love engaging with your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.